Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is War Smith with the Black News Network, bringing you the news from a black perspective. This is the real voice of Military City, USA. I do not own the rights to the music that you were listening to, but I do own the rights to what I say. So let's get started with some leadership, leaders, followers, and those that just need to get the hell out the way. Leaders usually put themselves out front and make things work for the rest of everybody. I mean, people come in to be leaders, they'll take sacrifices. They usually are the ones who are heads on the chopping block because they made the decision to step up front and do the things that most of us don't do. And that's what leaders are supposed to do. It's supposed to take the lead. I don't know where the music's coming from. Let me see if I can shut that down. But anyway, I just want you to know that leaders have a way to go. Oh, what's happening here? Just give me a second to get this right. I'm gonna let it play then. I ain't gonna worry about it. That's just Tupac getting it down. But like I say, I don't own the rights to the music. But I apologize for getting started this way. But this is how it happens sometimes. I was talking about leadership, and there are those leaders who sacrifice themselves sometimes to get the followers through. I mean, all the time that you go out and you step up and you call it like you see it, and you say something about what's actually going on, and then the first thing that come up is automatic denial and a look back in your character to see what do you have wrong. And most of the time, there's always something. They always find something that they can use against you, and that's just the way how it works. I mean, it ain't the leadership, the leader's reason, or it ain't the leader who makes all this stuff happen, but it's the people who are around the leader that ended up letting it happen. So the followers, the followers are something that I got to find out what this is. Hold on. That's the way it works. Let me go ahead. Anyways, the follower is that person that always wait until the leader gets out there and sacrifice themselves on what they are trying to get done indefinitely is for the people. And when the people allow themselves to follow a leader and follow up with the leader, then things start to get better. And it's not necessarily for that leader, it's for those followers. And sometimes it's not necessarily for those followers, it's for those children that are following the followers, that come up after the followers. And if they see how you do these things, how the leader sets himself up to make things happen for his people, and the followers come in and put the finishing touches on it, then the change has been made. But when you just got a leader standing out there and no followers, and nobody wants to come out and sacrifice themselves and put themselves on the line because the change is necessary. There are so many people that will just sit back and wait till somebody paved the way for them, and then they are ready to take that walk down the line and think they did it for themselves. But they don't realize the sacrifices that people made for them to be able to do what they are doing. And then I was listening to a young man today about how he's a weapon dealer, and he trains people on how to defend your families. And he said that it's unbelievable how many people don't want to attend that free class, and especially black people. It's something about black people where they always want to say that it's not going to happen to me. I'm going to be that docile little person on the street where I ain't going to keep my head down ain't nothing gonna happen to me. But you're the very one that they pick on. And you're the very one that they're gonna slam to the pavement and put a bullet in the back of your head like they did that boy up in Michigan. Don't make no sense for the type of things happening out here in America to black men. It's almost like you have no choice but to obey and sit down somewhere and follow the way they tell you to, or you're going to get in trouble. Because if you want to stand up and be a man about it, then they want to take your manhood, just like they did during slavery days. Why are we allowing this same shit to happen in 2022 that happened in 1930, 1940, and 1950? We're still allowing this stuff to happen. Something's got to change, y'all. And what I see changing is the people, the black men themselves. We have been accustomed to watching white men do this for us and white men do that for us. And everything that we do, we got it from the white man. When a black man comes along doing the exact same thing, the first thing come up is, who the hell he's supposed to be? I don't trust that Negro. And that ain't what they really say. They use the N-word. They don't trust him. So a black man coming up doing some of the things that you see white folks doing for black people, then they don't have the trust. And that is the biggest problem. Most of us think that it's because of Willie Lynch, who happened in 1712, made the slave mentality perpetual. People walked off the plantation with nothing but the religion of the white man. That's all they walked off that plantation with. They didn't walk off with no money, no house, and no 40 acres and a mule. And very few people got that 40 acres and a mule and kept it. Because as soon as Abraham Lincoln put that into effect, somebody came along and assassinated him. Because they did not want to give all the southern lands to black people. Which it was like a stab in the eye to do that, to give that land to your former slave owners. People who formerly beat the shit out of you all the damn time and buck broke you and rape your women, you won't get the land of those people that did that to you. Now, because of that, Andrew Jackson came into the presidency and he immediately shut that shit down. He shut it down. No more 40 acres and a mule for you. And his rumor has it that the University of Austin, Texas in Austin, is built on slave land, on one of them 40-acre plots, right in the heart of downtown Austin. Yes, that is the rumor. But I think if you did a little more research, you'll see that that rumor is true. But we've talked about the leaders putting their necks out there on the chopping block and sometimes being sacrificed. We've talked about the follower who sit back and wait until some black person go out and sacrifice themselves to make a change in black people's lives. And here comes the follower to capitalize on that sacrifice. Just like our ancestors did the same thing. Our ancestors sacrificed their lives to make a difference in slavery, to change the way things are, to make things happen for us and for our culture and the way we wanted it to be. That's what we had to do. Then you have those that don't give a damn no way, shape, or form. They just get out the way and wait till you lay everything out, and they'll pick up the scraps and the crumbs and be satisfied with that. Those are the people that don't know what the hell's going on. And we got a lot of those people in the black community. And that is the design, my people. That is the design of America, is to keep you in the dark so you don't know what the hell's going on. And the moment somebody black come out and try to teach you something, you automatically feel like they telling you some bullshit. You automatically feel like you don't need to listen to them because what they saying is wrong. But when I tell you that black people walked off the plantation with nothing but the white man's religion, that ain't no damn lie. That's the damn truth. What else did they walk off the plantation with? Nothing else. Now, do you wonder why they took your culture, they took your language, they took your family orientation, they took your ancestry, they took every damn thing, you even cut your feet off and your privates off and everything else. They took these things from you, and then they let you keep the religion. What the hell is that about? Why would they let you walk off the plantation with that? Why they didn't take that too? They should have took it, but they know why they let you walk off the plantation with it, because you were going to continue to teach your people to be dormant and docile and not stand up against the white man. That's why they left it there. That's why they left you with that religion. Now, today is Easter, and I got nothing bad to say about religion, because I woke up every Easter Sunday, put on my Easter clothes, and wore them to church. And that's what we did, because we were told that's what we needed to do. You know, but once you grow up and you become an adult, are you going to continue to perpetuate all these damn lies that you have been told? I'm not saying Easter is a lie, but you show me where that damn rabbit laying eggs at. I'd like to see that. That's a bunch of bullshit. You telling your kids this. Be real about what you teaching them. Easter is all right. I mean, I ain't got no problem with who died on the cross, and that's the only way you're going to get to heaven. But I do have a problem with you lying to your kids, making them believe that this is the way it is. Well, what happens if a young kid walk up to you and say, well, how did this happen? I mean, how can a rabbit lay an egg? I thought rabbits have bunnies. What you gonna say? You're gonna say, shut up, boy, and go ahead and do what I told you to do. That's what you're gonna say, because you don't want to reveal the truth to your children. And the truth is not the truth, because it's a damn lie that you've been made to believe, because, like I said, the only thing you walked off the plantation with is your religion. And you have perpetuated into people like T.D. Jakes, Joe Osteen, he white dude, but he preached. He got a big following. Pastor Hagee over here in San Antonio. There's a lot of preachers out here making big money for themselves. For themselves, not for the church. And people are giving these people their hard-earned money to continue this damn lie. That's what it is, and I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. You have the right to remain silent. That's your right as a person in the United States. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the United States. Why is that? Because the law has a reason to get you to open your mouth. Because they want you to self-incriminate yourself. And you're talking to the law officers as if they are your friends. They're not your friends. They dare to put your ass in jail. Because if they're not putting you in jail, why do you think they need a police force so damn big? Why do you think they need tanks and armored cars and battering rams in the police force if they ain't got nobody to fight? That is the military militarized to fight people in a free country. Every police station is like a small Russia, because all they want to do is come out and inflict pain on their society to keep you in line with what you're supposed to do. And the moment you don't comply, you're going to get beat down. It's that damn simple, unless you're white. And if you're black, you're probably going to get killed just because you did not comply. Just because you did not comply. Why is it that you have to do what another grown-ass man is telling you what to do? You ain't got no damn choice but to do what the hell that man's telling you to do. Why is that? You got a choice. You have a choice. But that choice gonna come with consequences, whatever way you decide to go. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have them present, have the lawyer present with you while you are being questioned. Now, I talk about this Miranda warning every Sunday. And I talk about it because I need my people to understand that you do have rights. You don't have to give up your rights just because you've been pulled over in a traffic stop. You don't have to. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions, or make any statements. So why is it you talking? Why is it your mouth is open telling people that I know I was speeding, officer? You just committed a crime by admitting the crime that you committed. So here you making this job easy. No, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. That's something that I just had to get off my chest. This Miranda warning and people out there confessing and giving themselves to the white man like he's going to be your savior. You better start trusting your own damn people and start putting your families together and looking at your heritage and looking at how you were able to get where you are. You didn't just get there. Somewhere the way, your family made it possible for you to be there. Everything you did is not just because you were smart or you're an entrepreneur. It happened because somebody paved the way for you and probably died for it. They probably died for you to be where the hell you are right now. So you need to wake the hell up and start paying homage to those people that sacrificed themselves, those leaders that sacrificed themselves to get where they need to go. That's something that we have a serious issue with, trusting our black businessmen and our black people that are out there to help the culture. To help the culture. Now, when you help in a culture, you're always going to think of you're going to be local, you're going to be statewide, or you're going to be federal, which is the entire United States, and everybody knows that. How are you going to start an organization with 2 people and go national right off the damn bat? You're going to have to crawl before you walk. Politics is local. I commend my friend for telling me that. Politics is local. If the only thing you got as a black person is your vote, that's all you got. You ain't got no money to go out there and pay a lobbyist to go up to Washington, D.C. and lobby for you to get a law changed in your favor. You don't have that kind of money. These lobbyists make millions of dollars. They even are up there in Austin at the state capitol. Businessmen, wealthy businessmen, pay lobbyists to go up there to get what the hell they want. And they get it because money talks in politics. Now here we come as black people, fresh out the gate, getting into politics. We don't really have the money or the capital to be in politics like most of these Eurusties or these people that are so deeply embedded into the politics in the city of San Antonio. It's unbelievable. The last thing that we had was a seat in District 2 that some of our ancestors, now here we go again, our immediate ancestors fought to get that seat reserved for blacks. But now that seat is not occupied by a black man. Not by a black man. Why is it we can't hold on to anything in America? We can't hold on to it because we're so desperate to get the money so we can act like them, be like them, assimilate like them, and forget about who we are. We don't want people to know that we black sometimes. We want to talk white. We want to eat white. You want to put a damn napkin in your damn lap like that's what the hell you grew up doing. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. You sitting there, you got 3 forks and two bowls on you in front of you, and you don't know what they for. You don't need to know what they for. What the hell I need to know that for? That ain't your culture. But everybody, every other culture can come on national TV and speak broken English and it be accepted. But then when a black person come up there and say tooken instead of taken, then you got a damn problem with that. That's a big issue for black people. We're too critical of our own self. Our language is different from their language. And wherever you are, if you're proud of who you are, you're going to speak your language regardless of what language they're speaking. Ain't no such damn thing as proper English. English is fucking English. Excuse my language. Don't allow them to change who you are because they want somebody to talk the way they talk. Now, America got it bad. They did it to Indians when they took all their land, millions and millions of acres. They even took the kids. They took the Indian kids and put them in training and made them speak English. Made them wear pants, shoes, shirts, ties. They made them adapt the culture of America. They didn't have a choice. That's the problem. They did not have a choice when they did the Indians like that. They made them understand the American culture. And a lot of those Indians did learn the American culture and went back to their cultures to be who they were before they got kidnapped. They made people learn that stuff. They made us learn their religion. Yes, they did. They surely did. Nat Turner is an individual who was a preacher during slavery. Most people don't know that Nat Turner was used by the white man to go around to different plantations to keep the slaves docile by spreading the gospel. He was paid, I don't know if he was paid, but the white owner, his owner, took him to other plantations to talk to the slaves, to keep them docile, to keep them from revolting against the way they were being treated on these plantations. This is Nat Turner. Nat Turner was an individual who got tired of being used by the white man. When are we, or some of us, going to get tired of being used by the white man here in our society? Some of us can sit back and watch how they use you. And you got no shame in it because you want to be just like them. You turn against your own people so you can be like the white man. So they can see that you don't like black people either. But your entire family and your entire heritage are black. And you're there where you are because black people put you there. Black people made it possible for you to get there. Nat Turner eventually got tired. He went to one plantation where the white man had beat his slaves damn near to death. He had beat the slaves so bad it wasn't even funny anymore. He beat them bad, but then they was ready to revolt against that white landowner. So here comes Nat Turner preaching the gospel to them, telling them, we shall overcome, putting their ass in a docile mode so they didn't revolt against the white man. So eventually he got tired of doing that stuff. He really did. He got tired of it because he saw how he was doing the destruction to black people by messing their mentality up about why they were getting beat by these white folks. They did some shit that we don't even imagine that people are doing to black people now. This stuff here that they're doing today ain't shit compared to what our slave and our ancestors had to put up with during slavery times. So don't even think we got it bad, because we don't. We ain't got it bad at all compared to how they sacrificed for us to be sitting where we are today. They sacrificed a lot. And I'm here to tell you that we need to pay homage to that. We need to show the respect to them because we are the beneficiaries of the sacrifices they made. Nat Turner eventually went and gathered up some slaves and said, hey, we're going to revolt. So one night, Nat Turner decided that it's time to take them out. So he went to his white master's bedroom and killed the white master, killed his wife, killed his children, killed the dog, the pigs, and every damn thing. And then they went to the next plantation. And each plantation they killed nearly 50 people going from plantation to plantation to plantation. And there's 50 white people during slavery. And at each stop, they picked up more slaves to join the revolution that Nat Turner started. So by the time he was done, they had mustered over 5,000 white men to try and catch this little mob of 40 or 50 blacks. Over 5,000 white men to catch these blacks that were going around killing white people. Like I said, they killed nearly 50 people before it was done. And by the time that mob started to catch the black people, Nat Turner was the only one they could not catch. They could not catch him. He hid in the woods for 3 weeks. Every day, white men were torturing, hanging, and killing women, men, and children that were black because they wanted him, because he was the leader of the revolution. They wanted Nat Turner, but he did not give himself up until they killed. They were killing too many people. That's what it boils down to. Nat Turner said to himself, I know what they're going to do to me when I turn myself in. But I'm going to turn myself in so we can end this killing that they're doing, because they're killing indiscriminately for no apparent reason. See, Nat Turner and his group killed for particular reasons, because they were being mistreated as slaves. So they put a stop to that shit using religion and whatever other means that they had to do. They went through and took those people out. So eventually Nat Turner turned himself in. So they put him on public display and they hung him. Then when they hung him, they burned him. And then even before he died though, they castrated him. They cut off his toes, cut off his fingers. They took body parts from Nat Turner. And I tell you again, like I tell you every week, I guarantee you that Nat Turner, some of his body parts exist to this day in some of these white people homes. Because that's the kind of heritage they got, the lineage they got. The people passed that shit down or up, whatever way you want to call it. Nowadays, people got it sitting back in the attic somewhere in these old houses that was built in the 1800s, and nobody knows what it is. What is this? They shaking it around, looking at it. They looking at it. So if you go to these estate sales, you're subject to find a book covered in black people's skin. You're subject to find shoes made out of black people's skin. That's what they did to us. They took us out. And we can't come back in because we are so damaged mentally that we don't know where to start. And the only place we're going to ever be able to start is when we start to trust each other, which is the hardest damn thing to do. And I don't mean trust each other in a party. I mean trust each other to make a difference in black people's lives. We can all go out and have a good damn time, get a drink, talk a little shit, and then go back home, but you ain't made no damn difference to nobody. All you done got your head bad and had a good damn time. It's more to black people's life than a damn party. We got shit to do, and you are sitting on the damn fence like it ain't nothing to do. Get off that nail on the porch. You're sitting on that damn nail. That nail sticking you in the ass and you ain't moving. And you wonder, why is my butt hurting? Because you're sitting on a damn nail and you won't move. That's a metaphor when it comes to you ain't doing shit for your own culture. Moving right along. Leaders always set the example. They're always the first one to lose because they took the risk. to get out there and do what needed to be done. Followers always err on the side of leaders doing what they do. Followers come in and they try and do what they saw the leaders do, and they don't always make it work, but they benefit from what the leaders sacrifice. As long as a slave was a slave, he had no resistance from how he would be treated in a white society as a slave. But the moment the black man started to think for himself and leave the plantation and become an individual, a free citizen of the United States of America, he became America's #1 problem. The free black man is and was America's #1 problem, because with the black man being free, there's no one out there to tend to the plantations, to tend to those fields. That's the kind of stuff we fail to do in our day. Now, if you want to do something, listen to this. Take this quote that I'm going to give you and put it on a sticker on the back of your car, because what it says is you do not submit to the authority of law enforcement, because you are not going to be a commodity in the United States. But once you go and get driver's license, once you go through all these little compliances that they make you go through in order to exist in America, then all those little compliances makes you consent to what America wants you to do. Be compliant and docile and do what they tell you to do. Put this quote on the back of your windshield. It's UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code 1-308. UCC 1-308. That UCC keeps you from being put under the same jurisdiction as regular black Americans that don't want to take an active role to get themselves out of trouble. UCC 1-308. Go in there and read it. You always see them talking about stocks and bonds, right? What do stocks and bonds mean? What the hell are stocks and bonds? Stock being a herd of cows out in the field, that's stock. Where do you think that bond come from? Bondage. Because of the bondage that they put slaves through. You know, slaves built Wall Street. You go on Wall Street, that's the biggest slave block in the United States of America. Right there where they trade and drop that big ass mallet on that wood block. That's the biggest slave trading area in the United States of America. That's where they used to trade people, our people. When ballers make bad decisions, we have so many damn problems. And that's what we got. You know, Joe Biden is the president, but at one time, Joe Biden declared war on black people. He said, are you going to sit back? He's talking to his constituents in Congress, in the House of Representatives. Are you going to sit back and allow these people with no mothers, no fathers, no guidance, no upbringing, no leadership in their community to come in and destroy our families? What is he talking about? He's talking about black people. This is Joe Biden. He went on for about 30 minutes condemning how black people act, and how, even though he admit that they know they started the problem, they caused the problem, but now the problem's out of control because it's bleeding over into their neighborhoods. So in order to stop the problem, they're going to start killing and locking up black people. Like I told you a couple of weeks ago, they went from 70 prisons or 50 prisons to 170 or 1,700 prisons. How do you go from 50 prisons to 1,700 prisons in 25 years? You go that way because the white men know how to manipulate you to get your own self incriminated. They know how to do it. So let me just kind of walk you through what happened. Rap came out with, you remember rap. It was so nice to hear some rap. I mean, the words were clean. They wasn't calling nobody bitches and hoes. And they wasn't talking about nigga this and nigga that. They were talking about politics. They were talking about revolutions. They were talking about good things. Things that black people could live with. You can hear this type of rap and be proud about it. All right, so this group of white men came together and they called in several black artists. And they said, we are going to fund you. We're going to give you all this money so you can be that big baller that you want to be. We're going to give you the money. All you got to do is produce songs that cause the black society to erupt or to implode from the inside. You gave black people gangster rap. Gangster rap, you want a big car, you want the big rims, you want the big money, the big chains. Now, how many stupid people you see walking around with chains like Mr. T? Mr. T had an act. That was a show. But here you are with your pants sagging, which is part of the gangster rap scene, and a necklace on that you can't afford, a car you're driving that you can't afford, and then you living with your mama. I'm talking to the kids that allowed gangster rap to get them killed, to get out there in the street and kill somebody and be that thug that you thought you could be without going to jail. Only thing they did by doing that was set you up for failure. And you failed miserably. You ended up going to jail. You can't have a black family. That's what Tupac said. And he's right. The country will never do right by black people. Except the fact that you're going to have to come together eventually. As long as we as black people are not meshing together, they are accomplishing what they set out to do. The biggest fear that white America has right now is to see two things happen. One, for white people to see black people getting along and forming coalitions and supporting each other, they are going to go ballistic. They're going to go panic, and they're going to start doing things to black people like they are right now to reinforce what they had us been doing all along. That is one thing they don't want us to do. The other thing they don't want to see us do is us get into a coalition with Africa. They don't want the black Americans, which is a species of itself, to become affiliated with the motherland, black Africa. Once the blacks in America and the black Africans come together and start to build together, then they can't do nothing about it. They're going to panic, and they're going to start attacking us the way they are now. The last thing that they are afraid of, that Mexicans will become friends with African Americans or blacks. They don't want the Mexicans to like blacks, so they give the Mexicans things to make them not like blacks. They put them in positions to make them not like blacks. This is the kind of stuff we tend with every damn day. They are dirty men in the Senate, dirty white men in the House, dirty white men who own the oil fields, dirty white men who own big businesses. Look at Elon Musk. He bought so many stocks in Twitter that he want to own Twitter. Now that they didn't want to deal with him for all the billions he wanted to pay them, he said, I want to buy the whole damn thing now. That's privilege. That is white privilege in its best. All that damn money going to buy some bullshit Twitter when you got people starving here in America. We sending billions of dollars to Ukraine when we got people starving here. We got a homeless problem in America, and everybody going around talking about we gonna eradicate homelessness. You're a damn lie, because it's bigger than you can handle right now. It's an epidemic, just like that damn coronavirus was. Homelessness is something that's going to take focus and fight. You're going to have to focus on it and fight to eradicate it, which you will never eradicate it, because many of those people that are homeless choose to be homeless. They choose to be that way. But you can make a difference. That's all you can do, is make a difference. You can try. There's millions of dollars that the federal government is putting out, millions of dollars that the state government's putting out, but this money is being diverted to dumb shit like Abbott putting those soldiers down there on the border and ain't got no money to pay for them. So now he's taking money from other things and he's putting it on those soldiers, paying their salary for them being on the borderline. And you still are not effective. You're not stopping the Mexicans from coming to America. You're not going to stop them. I don't give a damn what you put up. You can put a fence up, they're going to scale the fence. You can dig down in and put a barrier in the ground, they're going to dig under the barrier. There's nothing America can do to stop Mexicans from coming to this country. For the next thing Abbott did was try to stop all the damn trucks. He did stop all the trucks from coming from Mexico. He had a 40-mile line of tractor trailers trying to come from Mexico. And it took an average of 12 hours to get across the border. And then when you got up to the border, you might not pass inspection. So you're still not going to get across the border. So what happened next? You ran out of blueberries at your local HEB. You ran out of melons at your local HEB. There were no tomatoes for you to go buy, because all of them sitting on the damn trucks down there on the border because of Abbott. Not only did he mess up the shit in Texas, he messed up it for the rest of the country. All that shit that came from Mexico during that tenure he was doing, spoiled on the damn trucks. So now it's not going to be given to the stores. So now you're going to go in there and have to pay more. So all that shit he has done has only caused the taxpayer, the consumer, to have to spend more money at the stores and on gas and on livable things that keep you alive. That's what you had to do. You had to go and get those things and pay for them, because those are the things that make you happy. Crime is surging in New York City. Crime is surging in the city of Chicago. Why? Because there are not the opportunities. You've done so well at withholding opportunities from black people that now they're going ballistic on your ass, because you created a monster, just like Joe Biden said, you created this drug problem in the black community. Joe Biden said that. Now you created it by not allowing the black man to work. In the United States of America, the minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour. Why the hell that ain't been changed? Everybody talking $15 an hour. Everybody's talking change, but nothing has changed. It's all the same. So don't be fooled. The inflation rate is up 8.5%. That's more for gas prices, more for food, more for supplies. These trucks, he finally let those trucks cross the border. Some of the migrants arrived in D.C., and I guess D.C. is showing Texas how to process migrants, because they processed them and ain't nobody bitching about it. There were 8,244 violations during Abbott's little excursion at the border, but they still let those trucks in. When ballers make bad decisions, let's go back a little bit. Look at Richard Nixon. What did he do? Richard Nixon recorded a bunch of tapes that incriminated himself, and then those tapes got out of his hands. It incriminated him enough so he had to resign from being the president of the United States of America. He went through the impeachment process, and then he decided to resign because he didn't want to continue. George Bush claimed that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and Iran, but then the NATO went over there. Did they find any damn weapons of mass destruction? Hell no. Because this baller, Bush, with all that money, made America believe that there were weapons of mass destruction in those countries. And there were none. But he still went in there and killed the leaders of those countries. Why did they get killed? Because of oil. It's all about oil. That's what it's about. Bill Clinton couldn't keep his pecker in his pants. He got caught up because he didn't have sex with that woman. But yet, she's got a blue dress that's full of cum. It's the truth, and that's all I'm talking today. Donald Trump created this bullshit in Washington, D.C., this insurrection. All these people decided that they could go in and take over the Capitol. All right, you go in and take over the Capitol. Now what the hell you gonna do? You forgot that we have the biggest military in the world. The most efficient military in the world, but a mob gonna go in and take the Capitol? What the hell you thinking? You ain't thinking right if you're gonna try to go and do that. Something wrong with you. You following a man, he's telling you to go do it, but yet when the shit hit the fan, where the hell is he? He ain't got there to defend your ass. You got a court case now. You done got fired from your job. Bad stuff happened to you. Look at Will Smith. Will Smith has been on top of the world his entire career. From the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air all the way to all his other movies that he did, to the tennis star, Mr. Williams. He's been a superstar up until he was at the Grammy or the Academy Awards or the Oscars. He was at the Oscars, and he decided that he was a bigger man. He was big enough to walk up there and slap the shit out of the host, Chris Rock. Now, his name is Mud. His name is D-O-D-O across this country and across the world. But on the same token, Chris Rock has skyrocketed. Every show he's doing now is a sold out. Now, he'll be in San Antonio, Texas on November 10th. And I'm sure his show will be sold out. Look at Tiger Woods. Fell in love with white women when he was married to a white woman. And she tore him up. She messed up his stuff. She took his money. And he couldn't stop dealing with these white women. Look at Bill Cosby. What the hell? Bill Cosby went through so many damn court cases, it ain't funny. And he ended up doing some time. And I think he out now. But did you see him do that little, when he got out? That's the kind of shit black folks do. They get in trouble, and then they get away with some of it sometime, and then they show out. But you ain't heard nothing else from him. Look at O.J. Simpson. Got off on a murder charge, and then had the audacity to go try to steal some of his memorabilia back and get caught and get sent to damn jail. How stupid can you be? Now he's out, I believe, doing what he do. But these are black people, and they are ballers who made bad decisions. Look at Epstein, Joe Epstein. He was like this with Donald Trump because he was supplying Donald Trump with underage women. He was into trafficking at another level. These white boys got money, marbles, and chalk, and they are using it to their advantage. They are exploiting people. They're taking people. They're buying any damn thing they want, and they're dealing with it. Look at Donald Trump. Before he even was elected president, he was talking about grabbing somebody's pussy. That's how bad it is when you got money. These big ballers, they make mistakes, and people don't give a shit about these mistakes that these big ballers make. They're the ones who ruin this damn country. We're so used to believing in white is right that anytime a black come along with something positive, we don't trust it. We do not trust it only because it's black. That's the only reason we don't trust it. That is wrong. That is wrong for our people. Willie Lynch may not be real. It could be a damn fictitious character, but I'll be damned if what he talks about in the letter or that letter that was made somewhere, we are doing exactly that. We are more hateful of our own race than we are of theirs. We're killing our people more than they are. And we're helping the police to kill our people more than they are. We got to do better. And instead of filming every damn time the police trying to kill somebody, get that police off of that person. You have the right to help defend a person who's being wronged. But you got to realize if you do that, you're going to be in just as much trouble. But you can stop those police officers from killing our people if you could take a damn risk. You don't want to be a leader, you want to be a follower. You want to sit back and take a video while your brother is getting killed over there, and because you too afraid to say anything to the police. Some of the women got more balls than some of the men around here, because they'll get up front center and raise hell about something that's wrong before a man would, because men already know they're going to get taken out. But you might as well accept the fact that you're going to get taken out if you get into it. When big ballers make bad decisions, we start to lose money. We start to spend money like it's irresponsible, because we got to still buy those things that we need. Don't forget that I said that they paid rappers to make songs to get black people in a mindset to start killing each other. And that's what they did from 1970, 80, and 90, when the first rappers came out. They would, like I said, they had political things that were right. But after these people had that meeting and started paying people, they went left. They lost it. Black people started doing dumb shit just like the rappers wanted them to. And that's how they kept populating the prisons, because they were putting it in the rap songs, making our people act a certain way, and that way the police standing up on guard duty to start locking people up, giving a little charge over here, a little charge over there, a little charge back there, and they're doing all these charges because they know people can't afford bail, people can't afford a lawyer. So what do? They take the time. I'm gonna just stay in jail until my court date come up, because I can't afford to pay my bail. So what happens when you stay in jail? The state and the federal government issues money to the prison for that particular inmate. That's why Michael Jordan owns prisons as well as all these white folks. He's part of it too. He getting paid because black people are going to jail. That's how they do it. Breonna Daniels. I don't know if you heard that name before, but Breonna Daniels is the first black woman working in a pit area on NASCAR. So just to say how many opportunities there are in America, we can't just confine ourselves to thinking that, well, we ain't got no business on the east side, so we can't go to work. Bullshit. you can get out of that east side and go find you a job doing something else. Waste management is suffering right now because they don't have enough people operating the garbage trucks. Go get a job at waste management. If you can't go there, go get a job driving truck. There are 30,000 shortages in truckers in the United States right now. 30,000. Go through that course. Get your CDL and start driving. If you don't have, you got a family to support, stay out on that road, you're going to make a lot of money. But if you think you're going to be home every night, you don't need to go into that profession. You can be a welder. You can be an apprentice plumber. There's so many things you can do. There's a school right there on the east side, right off of W.W. White and ULMA, where they train you to be carpenters, they train you to be welders, they train you to be mechanics. It's a vocational school right here in San Antonio that nobody seems to want to promote, and nobody seems to let people know about it. But there is a school here that will train you and will pay you $15 an hour for attending school. Why is it that we as black people won't take advantage of all the things that are offered to us in this society? There's a lot of stuff that we can do. We just have to tap into the knowledge. The knowledge is where it's at. It's what you know that makes you powerful. Not, a lot of people say it's who you know. If you're willing to kiss ass, go ahead. It's about who you know. Kiss some ass and you'll be all right. You'll know who it is. That was in Grand Rapids where the police shot this man in the head for no reason. There was one police and one black man, and the police was on top of him, and he shot him in the head. East South Cross had a shooting the other day, and some motorcycles wrecked on the east side, but nobody really was hurt. It was three people on motorcycles. Sometimes we got to go along to get along in America, but that don't mean kissing ass. It means you go along with people making these damn decisions, but you don't go along with them to a point where you become the victim. You know, let's talk about Ukraine, and let's talk about how much money the federal government has sent over there now. Billions of dollars. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's been in the billions. Now, what could that money do for small town like Inverness, Mississippi, Belzona, Mississippi, Morehead, Mississippi, Dillon, South Carolina, all these little bitty communities that are suffering because there's no job market for them. There's no job market for them. But yet, black people continue to go into these white establishments, these Mexican establishments, and provide them their livelihood. The hard-earned money that you just made, and you're taking it into a restaurant where there's no one who looks like you. There's no one working there, not even in the back kitchen, not even in the parking lot picking up dirt. There's no one that looks like you. So what you ought to do as a black person, walk in, see that there's no black people working in there, turn around and go somewhere else. Stop spending your money in places that don't help your people. They should hire at least one black person should be working in every Mexican restaurant there is on the east side. But there are none. I have yet to see a black person working in a Mexican restaurant. They don't want to hire you. I have yet to see a black person working in a Chinese restaurant, but yet you going in there buying that Chinese shit all the time. You don't know if you eating rats or damn dog. You don't know. You just know, oh, this is Oriental food. Stop buying that stuff because they are not contributing to your culture, but they come into your community and take your damn money and send it out. They're taking your money and sending it out, and that's how they've been doing us for years. And we gonna have to make a change on how we live and exist. Stop spending your money just because you got it. Every time you get your check, the first thing you think of is what can you buy next? Stop buying shit that you don't need. You don't need all this dollar store shit. I can see you going to the dollar store getting cleaning supplies, all that stuff for $1. But what do you need with all this bullshit that's going to break time you get it? It's made in China any damn way. But so you're supporting China now. Putin took over 120,000 kids. He took over 120,000 kids from Ukraine into Russia. And then he created mass graves of their parents. This woman found her son thrown down a well. Her son now down a well. Can you imagine the atrocities they're going through over there? But it ain't got no comparison on what our ancestors had to go through. You know, voting time is coming up in May. Several states have not certified the voting blocks, which means that they're drawing lines around different communities to either eliminate black power votes or to consolidate white power votes. So how come every time they have a damn census and they want to redraw lines to either take something away from somebody else, but there's no other reason for them to be drawing these lines all the damn time. Every single time there's a census, they start to try and redraw lines. And then it goes all the way up to the federal government, and they have to say whether it's approved or not. And they normally going to approve it. So that'll cut black people out of being able to vote. Last Thursday, I talked about funerals, and I talked about how black people are afraid to talk about death to their family members. And I'm closing with this statement I'm making right now. If you are not going out discussing with your family members whether they have insurance, whether they want to be buried in Meadowlawns or any other cemetery like Fort Sam, whether they want to be cremated, what type of casket they want, do they want a vault, what funeral home they want to go to. You got to discuss these things because everybody gonna die. Every single living soul on this planet will die. And once we start to understand that we have to take care of the dead just like we take care of the living, then maybe we can start discussing these things and stop getting caught up with somebody passing away with no insurance. It happens all too often where people got to come out of their damn pocket to pay for somebody to be buried. And it's so sad when you see somebody out there trying to sell barbecue plates because they don't have enough money to bury somebody. And the funeral home ain't going to give you no damn break. They going to tell you what they need from you. And if you don't give it to them, your relative gonna stay back there in the cooler until you come up with that damn money. They're not gonna give you that funeral unless you give them that money. They are ruthless. And then they're gonna sell you every damn thing that can go along with that funeral. They're gonna sell you everything that can go along with it. So all I'm saying, if you have relatives out here, it's your responsibility to talk to them about being buried. It's very, very, very important. This is the Black News Network. I'm War Smith. This is the real voice of Military City, USA, bringing you the news from a black perspective. I do not own the rights to the music, but I do own the rights to what I say. So I want to thank you for listening today, and I want you to join me back here on Wednesday at 7 o'clock for a special session. Please like me on Facebook, the Black News Network. Please subscribe to the Black News Network channel on YouTube and do whatever they do on Twitter, because I don't know what they're supposed to do over there. But you do know Facebook, and I know you know YouTube, so I'm asking you to go ahead and check in and make sure I know that you were there. You know, we have a lot of people who want to come in and get out, but that's not beneficial to you as that person coming in and leaving. It's beneficial if you hear the whole story. And like Paul Harvey used to say when we were growing up, and there you have it, the rest of the story. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Easter.